Okay, Habari za Asabui, Habari za Mchana, Habari za Jioni. Everybody, brothers and sisters, all over the world, how are you today? I was thinking about you. I'm out looking at some property, and this would be 2 to 3 minutes away from the property. It's just the most amazing thing that I've seen. I've never seen this before in my life, like having the opportunity to have property like this, where you walk from your home, and it's probably maybe a 5-minute, 10-minute walk, and you come and be sitting in front of this. I just gotta tell you, I just gotta tell you, this is breathtaking. The words I don't have to describe. This is Africa. This is Africa. Now, I believe what I'm looking at right now, they call the Indian Ocean. Okay. Now, if you've been following me in my earlier videos, you know we're gonna get back to the rightful name of what you're looking at. I'm in Africa. I'm standing on the shores of African land. What I'm looking at is the African Ocean. Do you understand? The African Ocean. The power of definition, the power to define, the power to claim. With every breath in my body, with every thought that I have in my mind, with every thing that I can think of, African, African, African. Okay, this is kind of the shot where when you're walking up to the beach, this is a lot of land here for development. A lot of land. A lot of land here for development. So what we need brothers and sisters pooling their resources, coming together to be productive. And since we're in a system right now based on land ownership, property rights, and things of that nature, then what we have to do is come together. Because we're not rich and we don't need to go to the banks when we have the money right there available to us. Let me tell you something. I want to tell you where I come from. I grew up in a home, lived there for like 20, 30 years. And 200 men, maybe some women, but from what I understand, and we welcome the women, but 200 men, 200 of the W's, they all got together, 200 of them, and bought 3 streets worth of houses. 3 streets worth of houses. There had to be like 20 houses on there. I lived in one of them. They bought all of those houses, demolished all of the houses, took them down, made the land flat, and then put up a strip mall. For those of you who may not know what a strip mall is, it's like a little outside mall where you have a bunch of retail stores and outlets with a big parking lot, and you can go from one store to the next store to the next store. But let me tell you, you know how many people did that? 200. 200 men. Maybe some women, I'm not sure, but I know 200 men. They got together and they did that. Now, these were the W's. Now, 200 men being able to come together for a business endeavor that size. And I'll tell you right now, I don't mind telling you, this is many years ago. My parents, they got $150,000 for their home. That home, they paid $14,000 for. That's how long they lived in that home, and that was the appreciation value on the home. So I'm not telling you that to say that my parents did well. They did okay. What I'm telling you that for is so that you understand these men got together, regardless of what their personal issues were. They got together for one goal, and that was to buy that tract of land and build it. And it's still there today. When I left Michigan, it was there. So what I'm telling you, again, we can come together. But when we come together, we can't come together with all of these anti-black, anti-African issues. Leave that stuff at home. Deal with the issue in front of you. The issue in front of you is how are we going to get ourselves together in a position so that we are able to acquire the means of production, land, and property. Do you understand? Now, those W's came together and did that. And I'll tell you another experience I had. I've been trying to do businesses for many, many years and trying to unite brothers in that single endeavor, regardless of what the business was, okay? On several occasions, I would gather brothers who had experience and skill in the various disciplines that you need to operate a business. Accounting, finance, marketing, advertising, you name it, business administration. I would bring people together from each area. And let me just tell you the result of every time that I tried to do that. Now, this is very important to understand. You must understand, African people, black people, people who look like you and me, coming together for a business endeavor to grow and build a business for our children and our future and our posterity. If you don't do that, you'll look up. You will live in your own African land, your land, and other people own it, and you have to pay rent to them, okay? Now, let me make sure you understand, back to the story. So I gathered all these men together, and every time we got together, there would be an issue, one issue that would divide us, and then the whole thing would crumble. And I had to stop doing it. When we get together, they would say, okay, we're gonna get together, and then we start talking about the plans. And then someone would say, okay, if we're gonna do this, before I do this, God has to be at the head of this. God has to be at the head of this. Is God gonna be at the head of this? And I had to tell the brother, okay, because it's a room full of many brothers. I don't know their backgrounds, their personal religions or what have you. I don't know that. So then they would come together and they say, it's God the head of it. And because I'm from America, it would be Jesus. And I'd say, hey, okay, look, we can't talk about that right now. We're here for business. We're here for business. Not talk about that right now. Let's focus on the task that we have at hand. Okay, look, I don't mean to interrupt the story, but I want you to see this. Hey, babe, you see this? I gotta get this in your shot. Look at these boats. Look at these boats. This guy is building boats here on the beach. It's beautiful. I believe he's building these. Look at this. This is incredible. Oh, wow. Very, very nice, y'all. We got to get a shot of this. Look at that. That's upside down. Okay, so let's look at this. Oh, wow. Look at this. Look at this. This is incredible. Look at that. It's a little boat, and they actually go out in this ocean on this boat. Oh, man. Are you kidding me? Wow. I didn't mean to interrupt my story, so let me get back to that. I just had to show you guys this beautiful situation. Our good African brothers and sisters, these are the most ingenious people on the planet. Most ingenious people on the planet. So anyway, they would come together, back to the story, they would come together, and what they would say is, you know, is God the head of it? And I said, we can't talk about that right now. And then somebody said, why can't we talk about it right now? Why can't we talk about it? Is God the head of it or not? You know, then somebody would say, okay, and look, when we start making money, we need to know, first I need to know, we're going to be tithing that money. Where we going to be tithing that money to? I need to know that before I can't be involved in nothing that's not, you know, God ain't the head of it. And so every time after time after time, it would collapse. It wouldn't work because you had everybody questioning faith and what this was about. And so one time I got fed up. I had to tell them, okay, let me explain something to each and every one of you brothers in here. Everybody show of hands, who has a job? Who's working right now? We were all people who work for major companies. Okay, everybody working for the government, people working for GM, Ford, people working over it, you know, all kinds of computer companies, IT. So I had to ask them, okay, you're telling me right now, I'm coming together trying to bring y'all together, black men to put together some kind of endeavor so that we can go and have our own work, pay our own wages, determine our own economic future. And when I do that, you ask me these questions. Well, did you ask the W's that question when they interviewed you for the job that they have? Did you tell them you wouldn't accept that job unless they told you what they did with the profits from that company? Did you tell them you wouldn't accept that job when they told you that we were going to put this money and the profit is going to go to this church or that church? You didn't say that, did you? No, you told them, thank you for this job. I appreciate you hiring me. When do you want me to start? That's what you said to them. But every time we come together and we trying to get a black business going that's going to develop, you want to ask these questions. Not the place for that. Now listen carefully to what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't have your religious belief. Have it. If you want to have it, have it. But you never let anything separate us from building for our children. Nothing. There's nothing. You can worship and do whatever you want to do in the privacy of your own home. When it comes to doing our business, we get together and we do business. Business for our future and for our children. You can do all that other stuff at home. So listen carefully, be clear, because I don't want anybody saying I'm anti-religion. I didn't say that. What I said was when we come together to do business, we must do business. The businesses that are dominating us and oppressing us, they're not in their boardrooms talking Catholicism, Lutheran, Baptist. They're not doing that. They're doing business. And this is what we must do. We have no more time to sit around and do things that aren't bringing us benefits, tangible, concrete benefits for our children. And again, I'm sorry, I hate to come to you like this, but listen, I told you before, I'm too old to continue to make the same mistakes over and over again. Too old to continue to ignore things that are hurting us as people. So I'm begging each and every one of you to consider what I'm saying. I am not saying don't have your religion. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying, when we come together for business and for the protection and security of our women and children, we have to do that and only that. And we deal with everything else privately outside of that. Again, when the men come for us, the W's, and they're coming, they're already here. They're building planes and ships, guns, they're working on all kinds of technology to destroy us. We don't sit around and not do anything about that. We must come together. All right, look, sorry. The water got me. I love all of you. Look at this beautiful African ocean, this African sea. I love you all. Please understand what I'm saying. I love you all, but we have got to protect our children. We've got to protect our women, and we've got to protect our future. There's no compromise for that. None. All right, everybody. I love you guys. Y'all take care of yourself. Yes. I love you all. Uhuru. Uhuru.